Every day, whether you realize it or not, you're casting votes for the kind of person you're becoming, not with grand gestures, not with once-in-a-lifetime decisions, but with the small, silent choices you make over and over again. You hit snooze again. You scroll when you promised you'd study. You complain instead of creating, and you think these moments don't matter. But they do, because you become what you repeat. Your habits are not just actions, they are evidence. Evidence of your beliefs, proof of your identity. And like compound interest, they grow quietly, invisibly, until one day they define you. So let me ask you, what are you repeating today that's building the person you don't want to be? And what could you start repeating that aligns with the person you know you're meant to become? This isn't about motivation. Motivation fades. It's about programming your mind for war, about discipline, reps, routines, relentless consistency when no one is watching, when you feel nothing, when it hurts, because that is how winners are built. Master the mind, master the game, because the game isn't out there. It's in here. It's your self-talk, your focus, your story. Every time you train your thoughts to align with your purpose, you win another battle. Every time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you sculpt the future in your favor. The mind is a battlefield, and most people lose by default, but not you. You're here because you know there's something more. You're here because you're done being average. You're done letting your potential rot in the prison of procrastination. It starts now with one habit, one thought, one decision to become the kind of person who doesn't need to see results to believe in the process. The kind of person who acts like it's already done, because deep down you already know. Repetition builds reality. Discipline builds identity. And your identity, it builds your future. So remember this, you become what you repeat, so choose wisely. Most people aren't broke because of bad luck. They're broke because of bad patterns. They've been conditioned to think small, act safe, and stay quiet. Taught to trade time for money, to settle for security, to worship the weekend and fear risk. And then they wonder, why am I still stuck? The truth is brutal, but it's simple. Most people stay broke because they think like broke people. They don't invest in themselves. They don't study wealth. They don't build skills that print freedom. They chase comfort and call it stability. They spend before they earn. They consume before they create. And worst of all, they repeat this cycle every single day. You think money is evil? You were programmed to think that. You think rich people are selfish? You were trained to resent success. That's not your belief. That's your conditioning. And until you uninstall it, you'll repeat your parents' patterns. You'll stay trapped in the same job, the same $37 in your checking account. Forever. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Wealth is not a mystery. It's a mindset. It's a pattern. And like any pattern, it can be learned, repeated, and scaled. You escape the trap by changing the blueprint, by thinking differently, by moving like a producer, not a consumer, by building value, not selling time, by asking every day, am I planting seeds or scrolling screens? Am I building something or just waiting for something? The wealthy, they don't wait. They create. They decide. They fail fast. They learn faster. They invest in their mind like it's the only asset that matters, because it is. If you're tired of being broke, tired of scraping by, tired of feeling like freedom is just for other people, then stop lying to yourself. You're not stuck. You're comfortable, and comfort is the enemy of wealth. You want to escape? Here's how. Cut the excuses. Kill the distractions. Read what rich people read. Think how rich people think. Do what broke people avoid, because staying broke is easy. Escaping it is a decision, a daily decision to outlearn, outwork, and outlast. You don't need more money. You need more discipline, more courage, more obsession with breaking the pattern. So burn this into your brain. Broke is a mindset. Wealth is a choice. And every moment you're choosing. Everything begins with vision, not eyesight, insight. The ability to see the invisible, before anyone else believes it's possible. The greatest empires, the greatest companies, the greatest lives were all built first in the mind of someone who refused to let their reality define their future. See, most people live by sight. They believe what they can touch, measure, and count. But visionaries, they believe what hasn't happened yet. They build what doesn't exist yet. And they walk through life guided by an internal blueprint no one else can see. That is the power of an unshakable vision. It will keep you moving when nothing around you makes sense. It will fuel you when results are invisible. It will anchor you when doubt is screaming in your ear. And that's why most people don't have it, because having vision means being misunderstood. It means walking alone. It means risking everything for something only you can see. But if you stay loyal to that vision, if you feed it with action and protect it with discipline, eventually the world catches up. Your vision is your future in seed form. If you abandon it, you abandon yourself. If you chase it, fight for it, and believe in it with everything you've got, then mountains move, doors open, and the world bends to the will of someone who refused to fold. But here's the catch. You can't fake it. This isn't about daydreaming. This is about clarity, so sharp it cuts through fear. A vision so clear it outshines your past. So compelling, you'd rather die chasing it than live without it. And the minute you have that kind of vision, the world shifts. People sense it. Opportunities find you because you're not waiting anymore. You're becoming. Every action, every sacrifice, every late night and early morning starts aligning with that future version of you. And the louder the world doubts you, the louder you believe, because you don't need permission to rise, you just need vision. A vision strong enough to survive the silence, the struggle, the years of being overlooked. So let this sink in. If your vision doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. If it doesn't stretch you, it can't grow you. And if you're not fighting for it daily, you're surrendering to something smaller. You want transformation? Then stop chasing validation and start chasing vision. Because once you lock in on the life you are meant to live, nothing and no one can stop a person who knows exactly where they're going. That's the power of an unshakable vision. Every battle you face begins in one place, your mind. Before the world ever breaks you, your thoughts already have. Before the world ever doubts you, your self-talk already whispered, "You're not enough." Let me make this clear. You either control your mind or your mind controls you. There is no neutral. There is no pause button. There is no someday when it gets easier. It's happening right now. Every second, every thought, every belief you're feeding, it's building your future or destroying it. And here's the hard truth. Most people lose before they even start. They lose to fear, to distraction, to comparison. They wake up in defeat because they never trained their mind for war. They scroll instead of study. They whine instead of work. They numb their pain instead of facing it with fire. And they wonder, why does life feel like a cage? Because it is. And the bars were built by your own thinking. This is not about intelligence, not about talent. It's about mental discipline. It's about doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it, because feelings fade, but results remain. You want to win in life? Then win your mind first. Master your focus. Starve your doubts. Feed your vision. Make your mind so strong that nothing from the outside can shake what's on the inside. You are not your anxiety. You are not your trauma. You are not your past. You are the one who gets to choose what lives in your mind and what gets evicted. But here's the catch. You must choose every single day. You must choose to talk back to fear, to outlast failure, to silence the voice that says quit. Because if you don't train your thoughts, they will train you to lose, to stay small, to settle. And that's how most people die. Fully alive on the outside, but completely defeated on the inside. So I'll say it again, win your mind or lose your life. It's not a metaphor, it's a law, and once you get that, everything changes. You stop blaming, you start building, you stop reacting, you start creating, you stop surviving, and you start dominating, because your mind, it's your greatest weapon or your greatest enemy, but you don't get both. So win it, train it, protect it, because if you lose it, you lose everything. Wealth doesn't start in your wallet. It starts in your mind. Your thoughts are blueprints, and every belief you repeat becomes the architecture of your life. You want to build wealth? Then you have to train the one thing that builds everything, your thoughts. Most people chase money. The wealthy train their mind to attract it, because if your mindset is stuck in fear, in scarcity, and survival mode, no amount of hustle will ever set you free. So how do you train your thoughts to build wealth? First, cut the noise. Stop letting broke people give you advice on how to live rich. The opinions of the crowd will keep you poor in both pockets and purpose. Learn to think independently, not emotionally, strategically, from a place of abundance, not desperation. Second, guard your self-talk like it's gold, because it is. If you keep telling yourself, I can't afford this, your mind stops looking for ways to earn it. But when you ask, how can I afford this, your brain starts solving problems. That shift, it's not minor, it's million-dollar thinking. Third, repetition creates belief. You want to be wealthy? Talk like it, think like it, move like it. Visualize it so often that your nervous system starts to believe it's already real, because the mind doesn't care what's true, it cares what's repeated. It will follow whatever you feed it, whether that's fear or freedom. Fourth, attach your goals to a vision bigger than yourself. Wealth without purpose is just money, but wealth with a mission, that's legacy, that's impact, that's fuel that never runs out. And finally, act in alignment. You can't think wealth and act like poverty. You can't visualize abundance and operate from fear. Thoughts are the engine, but actions are the wheels. Both must move in the same direction if you ever want to reach your destination. So start training your thoughts like your life depends on it, because it does. Not just your bank account, but your peace, your future, your freedom. Every thought is a seed, and your life is the harvest. So plant wisely, water daily, and protect your garden from the weeds of doubt, comparison, and fear. Because in the end, wealth is not something you chase, it's something you become. And to become it, you must train your thoughts to serve the vision, not the fear. Everything can change with one decision, not 100, not a perfect plan. Just one moment of courage, one act of defiance against the version of you that keeps playing small. That's the lie they never told you. Your future doesn't need permission, it needs a decision. People waste years waiting for the right time, waiting for motivation, waiting for signs from the universe. But life doesn't wait, and neither does greatness. You are one decision away from a new life, from burning the bridge behind you and walking toward who you were born to be, from quitting the job that drains you, from cutting off the people who keep you average, from turning pain into purpose, from waking up and saying no more. And the beauty of it, you don't need a degree, you don't need approval, you don't need to feel ready, you just need to decide to act even when you're scared, decide to move even when the path isn't clear, decide to believe in yourself when there's no evidence yet. That one decision, it creates a ripple, a shift in momentum, a new standard that says, this is who I am now. That's how new lives begin, not in a grand explosion, but in a quiet, powerful moment where you finally stop running from your own potential. You're not stuck, you're undecided, and every second you hesitate, you extend your stay in a life you were meant to outgrow. So ask yourself, what decision have you been postponing? What truth are you avoiding because it's uncomfortable? What would happen if you finally chose courage over comfort, action over avoidance, alignment over approval? Everything you want is on the other side of that choice. The body, the business, the peace, the freedom. It's all waiting, but it won't wait forever. So don't let fear disguise itself as logic. Don't let procrastination wear the mask of patience. The clock is ticking, the door is open, and the next chapter of your life is begging to be written. You are one decision away from power, from purpose, from the life that's been chasing you this whole time. So choose and never look back. Success doesn't belong to the lucky. It doesn't belong to the talented. It doesn't belong to the popular or the privileged or the perfect. It belongs to the ruthless, but not the kind of ruthless you've been taught to fear. I'm talking about the ones who are ruthless with their discipline, ruthless with their focus, ruthless with their time, their standards, their mission. The world won't hand you success. It's not coming to knock on your door. It's buried beneath the excuses you keep making. And if you want it, you've got to dig every single day. That means cutting off distractions like dead weight, saying no so often that it feels offensive, letting go of comfort like it's poison, because it is. Comfort kills dreams slowly. It seduces you into believing there's always tomorrow, that average is safe, that good enough is good enough. But ruthlessness says otherwise. Ruthlessness says, I will train when I'm tired. I will work when I'm doubted. I will rise when it would be easier to quit. That's not ego, that's ownership. Because if you don't take your life seriously, no one else will. And if you keep waiting to feel ready, you'll wait forever. So stop looking for motivation. Motivation is a guest. Discipline is a soldier. And soldiers don't negotiate with weakness. They move with orders. They do what needs to be done. The people who succeed, they are not soft. They are not casual. They are not interested in balance when they're building legacy. They are locked in, laser-focused, uncompromising with the work that matters. And no, it won't make sense to most people, because most people want praise without pressure. They want wealth without work. They want transformation without sacrifice. But success doesn't speak that language. Success speaks to the obsessed, to the disciplined, to the ones who are ruthless enough to get up when the world says stay down. So ask yourself, are you willing to be misunderstood, to be alone, to be doubted and disrespected while you quietly build your empire? Because if you are, if you can stay loyal to your vision when it's still invisible, then nothing can stop you. Be ruthless, not with others, but with yourself. Your excuses, your laziness, your distractions, that's how you win. Success belongs to the ruthless, not in destruction, but in discipline. Self-mastery isn't sexy. It's not glamorous. It's not viral or loud or easy to sell, but it's the foundation of everything, every goal, every dream, every version of yourself that you keep chasing. It all begins with mastering you. But here's the truth nobody told you. Self-mastery is brutal. It means holding yourself accountable when no one's watching. It means doing the hard thing every single day, especially when no one claps for it. It means choosing growth over comfort, purpose over pleasure, vision over validation. Most people will never master themselves. They'll master excuses. They'll master avoidance. They'll master the art of looking productive while running from the one thing that could actually change their life: discipline. See, self-mastery doesn't mean perfection. It means control. Control over your emotions, control over your reactions, control over the impulses that steal your time, your energy, your potential. It's waking up and saying, I run this. Not your fear, not your cravings, not your past, not the voices that told you you'd never make it. You want freedom, real freedom? Then take responsibility. All of it, not just when it's convenient, not just when it feels good, all of it. Because the minute you blame, you give your power away. The minute you justify, you trade your growth for comfort. And the minute you let your emotions lead, you become a slave to your own chaos. But when you master yourself, everything changes. You no longer react. You respond. You no longer seek. You create. You no longer wait. You execute. And suddenly the world starts bending, not because it changed, but because you did. That's what they don't tell you, that the secret to success isn't talent. It's not who you know. It's not even what you do. It's who you choose to be when no one's watching. So forget trying to control the world. Control you. Master you. Because once you do that, there's nothing outside of you that can stop you. That's the truth about self-mastery. It's quiet, it's unglamorous, it's hard, but it's the only path to peace, power, and purpose. And the best part, it's available to anyone willing to stop making excuses and start building the strongest version of themselves from the inside out. Winners don't wait for success to show up before they believe in themselves. They act like it's already done. They walk different. They speak different. They think different because they've already won in the mind. And that's the secret. Success shows up for those who move like they've already arrived. You see, most people act according to their current results. If they're broke, they walk like they're broke. If they're losing, they think like losers. And they wonder why nothing changes, because they're moving from reality, not from vision. But visionaries, they flip it. They move from the future they're building, not the past they've survived. Winners move different. They don't talk about what they're going to do. They embody it. They train like champions before they ever win a medal. They dress for the boardroom before they ever own a business. They prepare for the blessing before it arrives. Not because they're pretending, but because they're aligning. There's no fake it till you make it here. It's believe it till you become it. Live like it, think like it, own it, because the world responds to energy. It responds to certainty, to presence, to people who walk in like they belong there, because in their mind they already do. So ask yourself, how would the millionaire version of you show up today? How would the disciplined, focused, successful version of you move? Would they keep procrastinating, scrolling, doubting? No, they'd execute. They'd protect their time like a vault. They'd speak with clarity, walk with intent, and train like it's game day every day. Because winners don't wait for proof. They become the proof. The truth is, you don't get what you want. You get what you are. And what you are is determined by how you move. So move like you already won, because when your mindset shifts, your results follow. This isn't delusion, it's alignment. It's declaring your direction with your behavior. It's making the external world rise to match your internal standard. So today, stop reacting to what is and start responding to what will be. Step into your future self. Dress like them, speak like them, build like them, believe like them, act like you already won, because winners move different. Most people live their entire lives in limbo, waiting, hesitating, hoping. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait until they feel ready. They wait for signs, for support, for motivation that never lasts. And while they wait, life moves on without them. Champions. They don't wait. They decide. They move with intent. They choose their future long before the world agrees with them, because they understand one truth. Indecision is the silent killer of greatness. Most people don't fail because they tried and lost. They fail because they never committed. They dipped their toe in purpose but never jumped. They thought about changing, talked about building, wished for more, but never chose it. See, a champion knows you don't get progress without pressure. You don't get change without a challenge. You must decide to sacrifice, to say no to the distractions, to walk away from comfort like it's the enemy, because it is. Waiting feels safe, but it's an illusion. Every moment you delay your decision, you reinforce your doubt. Every time you postpone your purpose, you strengthen your fear. And fear, it doesn't leave on its own. You must destroy it with action. Champions understand this. They know clarity comes after commitment, not before. You don't wait to feel ready. You decide. Then you become. You choose to start before you have the answers. You move, and the path reveals itself. Let me ask you something. What have you been waiting on? A sign? A guarantee? A moment when everything lines up perfectly? That moment doesn't exist. Champions create the moment. They don't hope, they act. They don't stall, they strike. They don't wait for permission, they give themselves the green light. Because one decision, just one, can flip the trajectory of your entire life. One decision to go all in. One decision to never go back. One decision to become the person you were always meant to be. So stop waiting, start deciding, and never forget most people wait. Champions decide.